Hi, I'm Bobby Dean, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
I would never put a fighter in the ring with somebody I didn't think he could beat. That will never happen.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So following Terence Crawford's terrific performance this past weekend over former undefeated champion Victor Postal's trainer Freddie Roach, he was so impressed with Terence Crawford's performance over his fighter Victor Postal that he said pretty much right after the fight, quote, "I don't think I'll accept Crawford for Manny Pacquiao." And then he goes on to explain why he won't accept a fight or possibly accept a fight with Manny Pacquiao. This is what Freddie Roach had to say about Terence Crawford against Pacquiao. Quote, "It's a very tough matchup. Crawford showed that he can move for 12 rounds, he can run for 12 rounds. But you know, in between the running and so forth, when he does land punches, he does land powerful punches. He hurt my guy a lot. I know Postal's got a pretty good chin." So Crawford's a pretty good puncher. He hits hard and he moves very well and emulates Floyd Mayweather quite a bit, I think. I think he's like a young Mayweather right now. With Manny in the Senate and I have to go to the Philippines and so forth to train him, and with all the confusion going on, I don't think I'm going to accept that fight or want that fight right away. I mean, give me one warm-up fight and give me a fight right after that and we can talk, end quote. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. That is some serious honesty and some serious praise. You know, while Freddie Roach is giving Terence Crawford high praise, I found it pretty interesting that he still found a way to slightly dilute the compliments by basically saying, oh, well, you know, he moves very well, he runs very well. That's what he said at the beginning of this article, right? But towards the end of what Freddie Roach had to say is when the truth started to break free. Because he went from saying Crawford runs pretty well to then saying he hits hard and he moves very well. Then he compares him to who? Floyd Mayweather. You're comparing Terence Crawford to the best fighter of our era. That's pretty damn high praise. You know, when it comes to Freddie Roach, what I like about Freddie Roach is he is always unfiltered, right? Don't get me wrong, Freddie Roach, he contradicts himself on multiple occasions, but the thing about Freddie Roach is he's unfiltered. So when he tells you what's really on his mind and it's not something that's rehearsed or anything like that, he tells the truth. And he's speaking a whole lot of truth in this interview that he did. What Freddie Roach just said in microcosm is Terence Crawford is the new Floyd Mayweather with more power. He's the new Floyd Mayweather with more power. That is a dangerous thing to imagine, isn't it? Because you hear people say, you hear fans say that all the time, man, imagine if Floyd Mayweather had this type of power, etc., etc. This is pretty much what Freddie Roach is saying Terence Crawford is today. So with that being said, I totally understand why Freddie Roach doesn't want his fighter Manny Pacquiao to get in the ring with that monster Terence Crawford. Freddie Roach is just being honest, guys. Freddie Roach is telling the public that he doesn't believe his fighter Manny Pacquiao, who a lot of different organizations in the boxing world actually had rated #1, the best welterweight in the world once Floyd Mayweather retired. That fighter's own trainer is saying, you know what? This guy, Terence Crawford, he may be much better than my guy. If Floyd Mayweather can outbox Manny Pacquiao, imagine what a guy who has Terence Crawford power can do to Manny Pacquiao. This is essentially what Freddie Roach is trying to convey. And I totally understand what Freddie Roach is saying. If I was Freddie Roach, honestly, if I was Freddie Roach, I wouldn't want to put my fighter in there with Terence Crawford either. Because I know that Terrence Crawford is most likely a better fighter than Manny Pacquiao and a more dangerous fighter than Floyd Mayweather. Now, if my job was to protect Manny Pacquiao and keep him winning, there's no way I bring him anywhere close to Terrence Crawford. But as a boxing fan, from that perspective, that is the fight that I want to see. And I believe that's the fight that the majority of fight fans want to see. Now, of course, once again, fans that don't want to see Pacquiao possibly get hurt and possibly get slept again, like he got slept by Marquez, of course, those type of fans, they're not going to want to see this fight, because deep down, they are all incongruent with what Freddie Roach just had to say about this monster that we call Terrence Crawford. And this is really unfortunate, because Terrence Crawford fighting Manny Pacquiao, that automatically catapults Terrence Crawford's career into superstar status. Now, there's no doubt about it, he can still reach superstar status, but the Manny Pacquiao lane would have got Crawford there faster. You know, when I covered this fight, I had one of Terrence Crawford fans from Nebraska come up to me, and he started talking to me about boxing, telling me how he's been a boxing fan since day one. He said even though he's a Crawford fan, he was a big boxing fan even before the emergence of Terrence Crawford. So he starts talking to me about boxing for quite some time, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he tells me, he said, I was just talking to this guy right here who says that, you know, he works for Top Rank, and he was telling me, he said he's actually the matchmaker. And this guy told me that if Terrence Crawford wins this fight, then Crawford versus Pacquiao is the next fight, pretty much for sure. This is what this guy is telling me, right? And, you know, at this time, I'm just thinking, because he's kind of drunk, and I'm thinking this guy's just talking crazy. So he points the guy out, right? So after, he tells me this, I go over and I talk to the guy. And it turns out to be Top Rank's matchmaker. So I say to him, I heard that Crawford versus Pacquiao is the next fight, assuming Crawford gets past Postal. And then this is when the matchmaker, Bruce, basically tells me, oh, I can't talk too much about it. And I say to him, well, let me at least ask you this. Is there a very good chance that we're going to see Crawford Pacquiao, assuming Crawford gets past Postal? He looked at me, he said, oh yeah, oh yeah. So the inclination was they want that fight bad. Now, see, this is the thing. I already knew, and I've been telling you guys on a couple videos, Bob Arum, he wants this Crawford-Pacquiao fight bad. Why? Because if Crawford wins, then Manny Pacquiao, he'll be passing the torch right over to Terrence. If Manny Pacquiao wins this fight, this is pretty much like a resurrection of Manny Pacquiao's career. Can you guys imagine how big that would be if Manny Pacquiao were able to beat the new Floyd Mayweather, according to Freddie Roach? Can you guys imagine how big that would be? I mean, nothing is bigger than Manny Pacquiao beating Floyd Mayweather, but that comes damn close if you could beat a young lion like Terrence Crawford. I mean, imagine if he were able to even knock out Terrence Crawford. That would be huge for Manny Pacquiao. So from Bob Arum's position, this is a win-win fight for him, no matter who wins the fight. Now, what I wonder with Manny Pacquiao, of course, we know he wants a Floyd Mayweather rematch, all right? Now, my whole thing is, if he doesn't get a Floyd Mayweather rematch, which I know a rematch is very possible, because according to Freddie Roach, he talked to Floyd Mayweather, and Freddie Roach said to him when they, seen each other in person, Floyd Mayweather said, let's do it again. And Freddie Roach, he said that Floyd Mayweather, he said that more than one occasion. So with that being said, there's a good chance that that rematch is going to take place. Now, I understand Manny Pacquiao not wanting to fight a guy who his own trainer doesn't believe he can beat before he gets Floyd Mayweather. But my whole thing is, if you're not going to get that Floyd Mayweather fight, then what are you still fighting for? We all know that deep down Manny Pacquiao is extremely disappointed that he lost the most important fight of his entire career, and that was to Floyd Mayweather. He lost the fight of the decade. No fight gets any bigger than that. So once again, the only way, as far as I'm concerned, Manny Pacquiao can even partially make up for a loss like that is either by beating some young, hungry lion like a Keith Thurman, like a Terrence Crawford. Because see, we've already seen Floyd Mayweather do that. We've seen Floyd Mayweather beat the young, hungry lions like Canelo Alvarez. But we've never really seen Manny Pacquiao face a young, strong, undefeated, hungry lion that is probably bigger, stronger than Manny Pacquiao. And Manny Pacquiao, he can't just rely on just his good left hand. He has to go to plan B, where he has to maneuver, he has to find ways to hit and not get hit and outsmart his opponent on top of possibly hurting him. We haven't seen that too often with Manny Pacquiao. So once again, I want to say, as a fan, that's the fight that I want to see. I want to see Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford. It most likely won't happen. Top Rank wants to see the fight. But as you guys just heard from Freddie Roach, Team Pacquiao, they definitely don't want that fight. So that may not be the news that a lot of boxing fans want to hear, but I give Freddie Roach a lot of credit for at least being honest. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask these athletes and trainers to do, is just be honest. Be honest with the public, okay? I would rather a fighter or a fighter's trainer say, you know what, that guy is too damn good, and I don't even know if I can beat him. I don't know if my guy can beat him. We're gonna wait before we get in the ring with a guy like that. I think if someone like, if Golovkin would have said something like that about Andre Ward, if maybe Canelo would have said something like that about Golovkin, it would have made them look better. But when you have Canelo Alvarez saying, you know, us Mexicans don't play around, and I want him to get in the ring right now, I'll fight him now. When you do all of that kind of stuff, it makes you look even worse. Just flat out come out and say, look, man, this guy is a beast. This guy is a tremendous opponent to beat, a very difficult opponent to beat, I should say. And I'm not ready for him right now. People will respect you more for saying that, for just being straight up honest, the way Freddie Roach is being honest today. So that's pretty much all I got to say for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!